I'd now like to call on the Honourable Tania Mihailuk, Member of the Legislative Council for New South Wales.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure to be here to join with all of you in what is going to be the fight of your lives, okay? I have to be very honest, but this is going to be a very, very big fight. A couple of weeks ago, I was at Port Stephens, and the community there on the 7th of October also held a very huge rally fighting their offshore wind farm proposal over their coastline. The people there are very angry, and I can only imagine that all of you are angry as well, because a decision is being made that is excluding each and every one of you from this process. And the government should be ashamed of itself. Make no bones about this, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to appreciate and understand that Bowen's already made the decision. They've decided that it's going to be easy to steamroll this project here. No. They've decided that because they've got some lame Labor MPs here that aren't going to put up a fight, that they'll just sit there in their caucuses in the Federal Labor caucus and say, sure, whatever you want, Bowen. But they now think that they can steamroll this project here. But I want to say to each and every one of you, I can see that the passion and the love that each and every one of you have for the Illawarra coastline. And I know that you will put up a huge fight in the next couple of months. You need to. You do it for yourselves, and you do it for your children and for your grandchildren and for the next generation. It's important because this is about actually protecting the environment. How ironic is that, hey? This is actually about preserving the environment for the next generation. And you've got a pristine, beautiful coastline. Why do many of you live here in Illawarra? You live here for this beautiful coast, for the recreation, the sport, the fishing, the tourism, the business, the opportunities of living in a beautiful community. And you need to hold on to that and fight for it. This is a government that doesn't understand that. You only have to look at the 2030 ridiculous renewable energy targets, the net zero targets that are already reached a $60 billion black hole. That's you and I, taxpayers, paying for that. It's not feasible economically, and they know that. Look at the Snowy Hydro. It's gone from 2 billion to 12 billion. Okay, they've got a machine, as we speak, still stuck in the soft ground there at Snowy Hydro for a year now, costing taxpayers money. These projects are not feasible, and they know that this project will only destroy the community out here in the coast. And we've got to say no. You've got to say bugger off, Bowen. That's my suggestion. You've got to say bugger off, Bowen. It's not a wind farm they're proposing, it's a wind factory. People need to understand that. None of this will help our community. Bugger off, Bugger off, Bowen. That's the message, ladies and gentlemen. It's important to understand that. And let me say to you something about New South Wales Labor, because I say to you, don't hold out hope for this government, okay? They're mates of Bowen. Premier Minns is personal mates of Bowen, and they will buckle under pressure. I saw the Hume Leak inquiry that they held. It was a sham inquiry in June of this year, where they had deemed that the transmission lines for that onshore wind farm be above ground instead of being underground. So you've got to understand it's not just what's being proposed out 10 kilometres out here on the coast, but the cables, and also how will they connect to the grid once it gets onto the mainland. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the New South Wales Labor government will take the cheapest, worst option, as they proposed for Hume Link already. So we need to fight not only the federal Labor government, but also send a strong message to New South Wales Labor. Look at the South Australian Labor government, ladies and gentlemen. They're actually fighting Bowen. They have said no to the Southern Ocean wind farm. Can you believe that? The South Australian Labor government said no. They're fighting back. What's New South Wales Labor doing? Absolutely nothing. They've gone quiet, and it's important that each and every one of you send that message to your local Labor MPs in particular, state and federal, that they need to stand up for the community that voted them in, that they actually need to stand up to the Premier, stand up to Bowen and say, no, we love this community, we love our coastline, we want to protect our environment, we want to protect the marine life, the bird life, and the way of life that has existed here for many, many years in Illawarra. I urge you, ladies and gentlemen, to connect with Port Stephens, the community there as well, because they're taking up their fight to Canberra in February, okay? They're going to Canberra in February, and I encourage you also to join them. It's important that you get the message there straight to Canberra and go out there in February if you can. Can I very quickly just congratulate and thank the organisers of today, because it takes good, decent people who are prepared to stand up and take on the burden and campaign hard. So congratulations to the organisers. We thank you. Our volunteering and putting in that time and effort. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put up that fight and send that message that Bowen can bugger off. Bugger off, Bowen. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen.